Minister Netanyahu today, just hours ago, told lawmakers in Israel that he is still committed to the Israeli proposal that Biden outlined, just hours after he went on television in Israel and said something completely different. Which is it?
You sound surprised, Elizabeth. That's his modus operandi. He deceives and he manipulates, and he's just essentially mendacious. And I'm sorry to say that because he is the prime minister. But that's the fact. In fact, he changed his version or his take on things 4 times. When President Biden came out with a proposal, he said nothing. Then he said that no such proposal exists. Then he led the Americans to think that he's okay with it. Then he came out and saying that he's willing to entertain phase 1, meaning a 42-6-week hiatus or ceasefire and a release of some of the hostages, but refused to entertain or engage in phase 2, which is a permanent cessation of hostilities, which is essentially what he said yesterday, as you correctly point out. And then he comes out today and says not that he accepts the plan, but he accepts, quote unquote, the Israeli version of what President Biden said. Just not exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, the bottom line is, I mean, we could split hairs and all night here, or all morning. Here's the thing, Elizabeth. He has absolutely no intentions of going through with the ceasefire and hostage deal, because any way you look at it, that will inevitably entail or be accompanied by a ceasefire. And he's not interested in the ceasefire. He doesn't want this.
Hostage families have long accused Netanyahu of just that. There have been protests almost daily in Israel against Netanyahu. Today, they were so furious, they released more video of the hostages to remind everybody, this is who we're trying to get home. This is who we're trying to rescue. And so he's infuriating the hostage families, just days after he infuriated President Biden by accusing him of withholding weapons. I'm just trying to understand what his calculus is here.
His calculus is to keep the war going on. And keeping the war going on means that you cannot engage in a ceasefire, because that would mean de facto the end of the war. And that is something that he is unwilling to do, because that would mean he will need to face public demonstrations and the 2 things he's been shying from, and that is his responsibility and accountability for the policies leading to October 7th, the Hamas terror attack, and the actual debacle of October 7th. So his only calculus right now is to keep the war going on and this warlike atmosphere going on. By the way, Elizabeth, both in Gaza and in Lebanon, which is by far, in terms of escalation and scope and scale of the war, a potentially larger and broader conflict.
This comes also as he seems to be at war with his own military. Leaders of the IDF have been saying very publicly in newspaper articles, we cannot eradicate Hamas. We can destroy the infrastructure, we can destroy their weapon stashes, we can kill a lot of Hamas terrorists, but we are never going to eradicate Hamas. This is directly at odds with Netanyahu's prime goal.
Well, it's his prime goal, but he refuses to think of it and look at it from a political/diplomatic point of view. The only way to replace Hamas is to put something in place of Hamas. President Biden came up with a plan that may be imperfect and may be problematic to implement, but nonetheless is a plan as early as December, last December. That's almost 7 months ago. The plan calls for an international force with a major Arab component in it, but that also requires an Israeli willingness to go into or to agree to a political process with the Palestinians. Now, what the military has been saying to him ever since is, you cannot fight a war without political objectives.
Yeah.
Military means need to be aligned with political goals. And you, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm using my own words here, they haven't said it so bluntly. You, Mr. Prime Minister, you failed. You set no political goals. You just think you can eradicate and obliterate And all these platitudes and fortune cookie slips about, total victory and obliteration and annihilation come up with a. That's what they meant. Now,
thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.